A couple of years ago, Laura and I decided to tackle the biggest adventure of our lives. We decided to do 365 activities all around New Zealand in only 365 days. Needless to say that was a really busy day. Today is day 83 and we're making our way from Picton to Okiwi Bay. And along the way, we're going to stop to do a typical activity in New Zealand. It's kayaking. But we're going to be doing that in one of the most epic locations of the country. It's where they shot the Barrel Run Scene in The Hobbit. So check it out, and at the end of the video, join me where I'm going to be answering all the questions you had the first time we published the video.
After leaving Picton really early this morning, we are heading to the Pelorus River.
Pelorus River is famous to be the setting for the scene of the barrel runs in the latest Hobbit trilogy. And also for being the spot where we went kayaking. That's what it's famous for. Where Robin and Laura went to kayak.
After a short shuttle trip with Pelorus Eco Adventure, we are being given our jacket, our helmet and all the equipment we're gonna need for a kayaking tour.
Oh yeah.
And left, and right, and left, and right, and left, and right.
Stop.
And slaying the horse.
Sean is giving us what is probably the funniest safety briefing we've ever had during this trip. And after that, we are starting to take the kayaks down to the river to start our journey.
We are going on the Hobbit kayak tour, which takes us down the very same river that featured in the Hobbit trilogy. More particularly, the Barrel Run, where the dwarves and Bilbo are in barrels going down the river.
And we are hopping in the kayaks, which are not the classic hard-shell kayak that we are used to, but rather some blow-up kayaks. They are really easy to maneuver and they are perfect for this river because it's a really mellow kind of river. It gives us much more chances to play around and make our way like left and right to go check out every little nooks and cracks of this stunning river.
And we can see exactly why this place was chosen for a movie location. This place looks unreal. There's grey, bluish rocks surrounding the river covered in moss. The water is super clear, so it looks even inviting for us to jump into during the middle of winter.
And after only a short while, we arrive at one of the main attractions of this trip. It seems like a very small waterfall that actually doesn't even have a name, but this was a major part of the Hobbit movie. This is where the Hobbits went into the river, and because it is such a small waterfall, the production crew had to dump gallons and gallons and gallons of water onto it when filming to make it look like more a gushing and raging waterfall.
So far, we are really impressed by our equipment, especially the life jackets that aren't too bulky, so it's easy to move around in. And as we're going down the river, Sean and Chris are giving us heaps of insights, not only about the Hobbit locations, but also about the wildlife, the ecosystem here. They're also teaching us how to improve our kayaking skills as well.
Although the river is pretty mellow all the way, there are a few challenging rapids that makes it a little bit more fun. Soon enough, we arrive at a massive bridge, which is actually the bridge that we drove onto to make our way toward the Pelorus River. It's pretty fun to see it from another angle. We were really impressed by the view while driving, but to be honest, being inside the canyon on the river, feeling so small, surrounded by the natural features of New Zealand is priceless, and we are so stoked to actually arrive to the same place we were before under another angle. I just can't believe my eyes how amazing looking is this river, and the sun is really playing around with us, being in shadow and then in sunlight. It gives us a wide range of color that we are absolutely amazed by.
We're stopping for a quick pit stop on the banks of the Pelorus River to have a skimmers competition. Unfortunately, everyone is as bad as each other. there's not really a winner here, I think. We're now hopping back into our kayaks and back down the Pelorus River, where we are now floating like dwarves in barrels. We are absolutely in awe of our surroundings. This place is absolutely stunning.
I have to admit that I start getting the taste for natural water. I see a bit of a waterfall on the side and ask Sean if I can drink from it, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. I don't really have a quality assurance from Pelorus Eco Adventures, but it will do, and I'm just taking my natural refreshment. Aside from a few short sections where we have to paddle, the rest of the trip is mostly float and admire section. We are gazing at our surroundings in awe of its beautifulness, and there is even a few fantails hunting bugs that are flying past us. It makes for an amazing way to finish the trip.
Next stop is Okiwi Bay, so we hit the road. The GPS directions aren't exactly reliable here, and there's no cell phone network, but the drive is absolutely stunning, and tonight we are meeting our hosts at the Okiwi Bay Holiday Park, Pam and Ian. Ian has suggested that we do a hike, which we can do straight from Okiwi Bay, and that will take us right up into the hills, and he promises that the views will be epic, so we can't wait to do that tomorrow.
Alright guys, so as you can see, there was a very different type of kayaking activities. You saw us doing some kayaking around New Zealand already, and you will see us doing some more kayaking tour in the country. I mean, kayaking is pretty iconic here in New Zealand, and we are slowly making our way on the north of the South Island, sorry about that. And we will reach the Abel Tasman National Park, which is the kind of a mecca for kayaking as well. So you're definitely going to see us doing some epic kayaking in the country. But those blow-up kayaks were super easy to navigate. They were kind of really cool and very different as well. So I hope that you did enjoy that, and I hope that you got to recognize some places of the Hobbit movies, because it's such an iconic scene of the Hobbit movies, aside from the silly CGI, of course. So we're gonna go over some of the questions that you guys had the first time we published the video, but beforehand I'm just gonna tell you quickly about NZPocketGuide.com. It is the largest travel guide to New Zealand. It's available for free at NZPocketGuide.com, and it's written by Laura and I, so you may want to check it out. Scotia's Place said, oh, thank you for adding this. This is on my bucket list for sure in March. Then they ask us to visit more Lord of the Ring and Middle-earth location because they are so well precious. So yes, we will be checking out more Lord of the Rings location. There is going to be some more around the Queenstown area. There is going to be some more around the Methven area. There is going to be quite a lot of Lord of the Ring location that we're going to be visiting. If you do have a trip in the making right now for New Zealand and you want to pick our brain, Laura and I are available to help you plan your trip to New Zealand, and we're available at 8 AM every Sunday New Zealand time. We're sitting on that couch over there and we're live right here on YouTube. All you have to do is to show up, say hi, and start typing your questions on the live chat. If you do that, we're going to be answering your questions. We're going to help you plan your trip to New Zealand, and it's awesome time to just hang out together. So if you want to know what time that is in your side of the world, you have a link in the description below to help you out. There is also a link for NZ Pocket Guide as well, because we're really proud of it. We do really like it. And I hope that's going to be helpful to you when planning your trip to New Zealand, knowing that you have all this knowledge available to you. Now, if you can't make it to one of our live sessions, one of the things you can do is to put your question in the comment section of any of our videos. What I usually do is that I go through the comments and I highlight like some of the good comments which have some good questions, and I print them on a sheet of paper, and then when we're doing the live sessions and we have like very little amount of questions, or people are just chatting about silly things, we go over the questions that we received before, so you can still get an answer to your question. You just have to watch the replay later on. So I hope that all of those ways for you to plan your trip in New Zealand are going to be helpful to you. We really want to make it easy for you to plan your trip to New Zealand, and want to let you know that we're here, we're available, we're here to help you plan your trip to New Zealand. You're not alone facing this great unknown, and it's this dreadfully long flight and then not knowing what's going to happen to you. So should you come for just a short holiday, for a 3-month holiday, or for an entire working holiday experience in New Zealand in which you're going to take a full gap year, we are here to help you plan your trip. So just know that. Anyway, if you do find everything we're doing useful, maybe you want to hit the like button. It's a great way to tell YouTube that, what we do is kind of useful. And also YouTube asked me to tell you to subscribe, but I don't like to beg, so you don't have to if you don't want to. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Keep traveling awesome, keep being kind, keep being happy. Whew, happy time. Bye-bye.